Will you check and see if that's sideways? It might be sideways. Just doing a perspective check here. Crafting is okay, good. Hi everybody, it's Wednesday. I'm gonna do a craft video in a second. I realized I have been forgetting to say who I am. I'm Angharad. I'm at Craftiness, which is my shop in Chatsworth. I'm a physical shop, but I'm also an online shop. So if you see something you like, but you don't live nearby, you can always order it. And that's craftinessonlineshop.com is where you'd go for that. If you're local and want to know more about the shop, it's craftinessonline.com. And you can just come in. I'm at 21746 Devonshire, across the street from Los Toros, so in Chatsworth. Hopefully you know where that is and can stop by. I'm open from 12 to 5 Tuesday through Saturday. But it's worth noting that next week I am going to be closed. I was actually looking for someone to cover the shop, but then realized with the Delta variant COVID surge that maybe a week off isn't a bad thing. So I will be out of town on a family vacation, and I'm taking my family with me, which means that the people that would normally watch the shop while I'm gone will be hanging out with me instead. So the shop will be shut for just a week starting Saturday, but it'll be open again on the 14th. So get your shopping in this week up till Friday, or come back on the 14th, and then Courtney will be here at that point. All right, so today I was gonna do, it's Wednesday, so it's craft. It's I often do mixed media, but it's open to more, rather than art journaling, I'm gonna do something a little more crafty. So let's get this set up for that. Oh, for some reason, I don't know why this has like gotten stiff for some reason. All right, and today I'm gonna work with some scrapbook paper that I have in the store. This is a Carta Bella, or maybe it's Echo Park. Hold on, let me double check. It's Carta Bella, and they're actually the same company. I don't know why they have two different brand names under it, but the this is what I call a hardcore scrapbooking set, which is where it's literally just about the paper elements, and you can put them together in a way that is mixed media. Of course, you can do that with almost anything, but it's really catering to more of a scrapbook aesthetic. And so you're gonna have the chipboard stickers. The pack itself comes with regular stickers. The paper pack looks like this, and this one is really graphic, so it has a lot of graphic elements. If you were scrapbooking, you would take you might take that into account when you do your layouts. You might think, for instance, like this is actually a whole page of aesthetics, like, so where you would put your pictures or how you would use this might really be dictated by what's on the page versus it just being a background. I'm definitely going to be using this piece today. So, but look at the back. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Here's another piece that's a whole page graphic, but look at the back of that. If you camp at all, I'm sure you've seen the latest campaign for the national parks. It's very graphic like that. It's got this sort of vintage graphic vibe for all the posters and stuff. The last few years have been really beautifully rendered that way. So this is a nice combination for that. And then it has lots of little things that go with it. It has these enamel dots, which is something that you see with scrapbooking sets sometimes to add a little appeal, textural appeal. And ephemera packs, which is just a pack of stickers. And then the 6x6 paper pack, I don't know if I'll use much in this. It's usually just it's literally just a smaller version of the larger paper. So today I'm going to make a card first, but then if we have time at the end, I'm going to start something else. But I'm not gonna tease it until I know how much time I'm going to have. And I love this paper, and I love this paper. If I'm going to make my usual 7x5 card, I think I'm going to do a portrait version, then I think I might use this as the card. which means the actual like base that I build up on, or that I glue it to at the end. And I just want to show you how I make the card, because I don't usually do that. Usually I just do the front and I leave it at that. But I'm going to cut a strip that is 7 inches high. I'm using my We Are Memory Keepers scoreboard here. And score and trim, I think is what it, trim and score. There, it's called the trim and scoreboard. And I am cutting it to 10 inches. And then I'm going to take my clever little bone folder. It's not really bone, but it's the folder that comes in the kit, or in the scoreboard. And I'm going to flip this over. This is going to be the inside. And at 5, I'm just going to score down so that it bends easily. And what you can see there is that for the most part, I get a nice solid fold. I got a little bit of a bump through there. I'm just going to trim that off because I am a perfectionist and I don't like it. So this is the base for my card. And what I'm going to do is, before I'm done, I'm going to fill the inside with stuff so it's not so busy, and I'm going to build something that's going to go on the front here. And so what I'm going to do is it's not going to be mixed media because this is what I'm using is just this set, but I'm going to find a nice, I'm a little migraine sensitive, so some of these patterns kind of poke me in the eye.
Michelle says hi.
Hi, Michelle. Thanks for joining us. I kind of like this, especially as a contrast to the background. So, sorry, I should clarify. I'm not actually going to use this as a background. I'm going to cover the whole thing, but you'll see it on the back of the card. And so I'm going to cut a 7x5 piece out of this. Now, if I really want to preserve as much of this as possible, I'm going to think about what's on the back of this and be careful about where I cut. If I want a 5x7 piece, you know, I might think where I want to do that. I actually really like this, so I'm going to cut from this side.
You just said you were going to cut a 7x10.
I'm going to cut a 7x5.
Before earlier you said 10, I thought, and then you were going to fold it.
So I did that already?
You did that.
Yeah. And so now I'm doing the piece that will be, okay, so here's something to notice. This piece, these papers have a barcode tab on the bottom, and it means it's wider. That makes it wider than 12 inches. So it's not fitting on my scoreboard because of that. And so I'm just going to trim that off because it's just going to get in my way. And now I'm going to remind myself. So I'm going to cut this at 5 inches wide, and that means I have that card that I wanted. I actually like that one too, preserved. And I could look at the back and see, like, the word travel is nicely highlighted there. So what I might do is cut the 7 inches from below that, so I preserve that on the back. See? So now I have a piece that will go on the front of my card that can be my background. So, you know, it'll look like this, which I think looks pretty snazzy. Now, one thing I did do was I preserved some of the these strips, because, you know, this came out of this with all of these strips here. And so I'm going to cut a couple of these out to use because I like them. Now, there are other paper cutters out there that have very precise ways to measure where the line is. I have one that I sell that has an actual wire that you line up exactly on the cut you want to make. And that can be really convenient when you're trying to cut something precisely like this, because, you know, you can see it's a little wider at some spots, got a little crooked there, but that's okay. You won't notice it once on the card. And then I super love this one of the locomotives at the bottom. Oops. So I'm I'm going to trim this off and then see how it works in my cup an inch, half inch. You can tell by the crunchy noise that I'm going to have to trade out my blade on this soon. You can see it's not cutting very well, so actually I may as well go ahead and show you how to do that. These come with one replacement blade, which is very convenient. You don't always get that with your cutting boards. And what you're going to do is pull it to the center, and you're just going to she says, as though it's super easy. It should be super easy. It's supposed to be. You just pull it and snap it out. Like that. Honestly, throw that piece out because it's not safe to have it hanging around. And then you're just going to come in and wedge this back in between the two again. Look at that. And then let's give it a test. Let's see if I got a nice clean blade off of that. Yes. Do you see the difference in the cut that I got off of that versus the cut I was getting off of with the old blade? I mean, hopefully you can really see the difference there. Okay, so that was worth doing. And so now I have a couple of these strips that I have cut for myself. I have this pack of ephemera. Ooh. And I also have these stickers. And I have the chipboard accents. Now, the thing about chipboard is that these have their own thickness because they're chipboard, and so they stand off, the elements stand off, which is kind of nice. So I'm gonna think about what I want this to look like our adventures. And then let's see, go through this. And so right now I'm just gonna go through and do some auditioning and see what looks good, what I like. I love these decals kind of ones, they're really cool. Scenic route. All right, I'm gonna take our in progress snapshots. Niagara Falls. Cool, all aboard. So, oh, look at that, that's cute. A little flag set. Oh, look. There we go. Make it local. And then a couple of big ones. So there's the set of stuff that I have to work with from the ephemera pack. And so, you know, I might think about what I want in terms of, do I want a big element? And do I want this on top of it? And do I want maybe, so it doesn't look like these are gonna pop out with the backing on, so I'm just gonna have to think about, I mean, cause that's kind of cool. If I were to do this maybe under here. Vacation time. Oop. Now this is a sticky on the back, but not very. I'm gonna end up probably sticking it down with a little more adhesive. Okay, so I've got an idea, and I'm gonna start with it and then see where it goes. And I am just gonna stick this fella down and see if it stays. And then I'm gonna bring this in. I've got some double-sided tape, my favorite. This is the Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's very strong. And I have these dimensional dots. So I think what I want to do next is I want this fella here. I'm going to cut this. Like that. And I did a really poor job of that, so I'm going to straighten that up. There we go. And now I'm going to put this down along the bottom with the double-sided tape. Let me know if I go off camera at all, Kendall. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you could pull it down a little bit.
I could pull the camera down or the...
Or you could pull your working station down towards you.
Is that better?
I can't see it yet. I have a delay.
Lag. So I'm not worried about the fact that this is overhanging because I could just bend it onto the back on itself and
See
create.
the card fine.
Okay, good. Oop, she says, but then she mucks it up. Just bend it backwards and it becomes more adhesive for your project. Okay, so I'm gonna put this down here and I'm aiming it so that you can still read vacation time there. Oh, and that, see, I knew that wasn't gonna stay. All right, we have gone back and forth about what's the best way to get in progress shots, including, do I make 2 projects? Or how do we best do this so that we can post about it later. Kendall's been putting all of these projects up on the blog where you can go and see the step-by-step. Please let us know if those work for you, because we want to make sure that they are written in a way that's easy to understand and all that. So now I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to remember that it's on top of the, that's going to be on top of the locomotive. So I do find these tricky to unback. And actually, what I'll do is I'm going to put a little one here just to hold that little flap down. All right, and then I really want these fellas to be along here. Like that. And so I'm going to put my dots are getting away from me. I'm going to put a big dot and a little dot. Big dot and a little dot here. And I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to place this one first and then decide if I need to have more bubble dots on the others. So this one's going to go here. Like that. So big dot, little dot, and I'm actually gonna put another little dot there, and another little dot there. If I had my roll of foam tape right now, I would have just cut, I'd be cutting these to size instead of using dots. This is the X, so I'm going to put that here. Ugh. And then I'm going to do the A. I do sell these sticky dots in the store, and I sell the rolled foam too if you'd rather use it. Cut it to size that way. Oh, man.
Are the sticky dots Elizabeth Craft also?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I actually have a couple different brands in the shop. Okay, so there's that. So far, I've got some fun stuff. So now I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna start bringing in some more of the ephemera. Oh boy.
Did I get that?
Well, no, it'll be on my, oh, maybe it's not gonna come through. All right, so what's going on? Why aren't the phone calls working? So I'm just gonna start filling in around this a little bit with little pieces from the ephemera pack. And you know, I also have this that I haven't put down yet. Actually, I am really feeling that. I like that a lot. Okay, I'm gonna trim this down. Not exactly the size I want, but I like that. Okay, so a couple things. This, I'm gonna put this on there. Well, no, I'm gonna do this first. And because of the way it is shaped, the way this is not as thick as the dimensional dots that are holding this up. So there's a little bit of a difference. So I put a dimensional dot there to be flat on the card. And then I'm going to put some of the double-sided tape and just have it interact with this piece of ephemera that I've raised already. I'm going to do that first. And then I'm going to put the olive board on top like this, or maybe even a little off, like that, which I kind of like. Again, sort of a slightly mixed media approach to something that's very traditionally scrapbooky. Oh boy, do you want to grab that?
Yeah, so I grab it from where? Good morning.
Okay, hopefully that didn't interrupt the...
Hi, I'm good. This is Kendall. I'm working with Angharad. She's doing a live right now on Facebook.
Kind of like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to pile some stuff on here to create that scrapbooky feel. I'm going to put this. And then I'm going to do this. The nice thing about double-sided tape, you can just hodgepodge it on the back. And throw this in like that. And then I'm going to trim this so that it's square with the card. these enamel dots, which is very sweet. So I could see sending this as a come on vacation with me kind of thing. There's that. That. Thank you, Kindle.
Of course.
All right. So this is pure scrapbook paper, pure scrapbook paper creation. I have not used anything other than what came in the set to create this, and hopefully you can see how much you can do with just a scrapbook set and taking your time to decide where you want stuff to go. I'm going to finish it off on the inside. I have this 6x6 paper. Remember the nice thing about the 6x6 is that they actually have they're double-sided, but some of the pages have just plain paper on the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and use, let's see, I saw a color there that I liked. Is it this mustard? Yeah. So I'm going to use this mustard color. Oh, it looks like you have more than one of each of the patterns on this one. And I'm going to trim it down so it is an inch smaller. Sorry, I'm doing this side. Oh, and I need to take that off. Okay. Let me just trim off the hanger. Okay, so I've got it, it's about an inch smaller. So I'm going to take off, so this is 6x6. And I want it to be 4x6, so I'm going to take off 2 inches and make it 4 inches wide to go on the inside like this. And this is where I might write my little invitation to go on vacation with me.
I'll take that one.
Right?
Yeah.
If our cabin wasn't full, I'd consider it. It'd be super fun to go and do some of this planning in Seattle.
Yeah, fun sounds great.
I go to Seattle a lot for sort of more practical reasons, to go and help my parents and stay connected to them. But this next week is going to be all about going on vacation. So that's why I'm going this time. All right, let's see. I really like that. I think that looks really cool. I'm just gonna trim this down and have it be there, on there. One thing about the Elizabeth Craft Design tape is that it is tearable. So you can tear it with your fingers. You do not need to cut it, and must never do.
Terrible as in a good thing, not
tear. You can tear it.
At first I thought when you said it's terrible, I was thinking you were going to be saying horrible, something horrible about it.
It's terrible. All right, this is me not being able to leave things alone, obviously. More stuff. And then now comes the part where we glue it to the front. Where I tape it to the front. And this is, I'm going to start with the piece in the middle, and then I'm really going to be careful about getting it edge to edge because I don't want it peeling away from the card. Okay. Again, I'm not worried about the sticky bits off the edge because then I can just roll them up back on themselves. Okay, now I'm going to come in and very carefully lay it down on the card front. Ta-da! Ta-da! Some of it's not as straight as I would have liked, but that's okay. When I see mistakes that I regret, I always remind myself that whoever gets this is going to pull it out, and they're not going to think that's not straight. They're going to think you made this.
Can you pull it down into the camera?
Oh yeah.
It's a little out of sight.
This one popped up, so I'm going to tape it down. So that's just a lesson in that the adhesive on the back of these sticky things are often not really adhesive enough, to be honest, so I double whammy it. There. Where are we? So there we go.
Oh, we got a couple comments.
All right.
Jill says, very cute.
Thank you, Jill.
And Michelle says, you're so creative. I never would have figured out how such a cute card.
Aww.
I'm so overwhelmed by that collection.
Thank you. Well, I mean, to be completely honest, I was a little overwhelmed too, and I dumped it out on the table. And sometimes it really just requires getting started and putting things together. And I do have all of these bits left. So I teased, let's see, I have time. I teased doing something else, and I won't start it, but I'll just show you what I had in mind. This is the Studio Lights Essentials set. It's one of their journal sets. And I just thought, you know, this is a travel set. So how cute would it be to make something out of this with, or, you know, make one of these journals with this paper. So, you know, I might go through this and look. The way this one works is this is the hinge piece, and then you cut two pieces for the front and the back. And one of them, oh, so you can use these to make a flap that goes in the front, or yeah, you can use it to make little bits that, or pages that have this edge. And the way you do that is you cut a strip that's the right width, and then you use these on the edge to create that end look. So I could do that. They've got this one. This one looks like a little ticket, this die. This was a torn edge of a ticket. This literally says journal, and then there's little keyholes. So there's lots of stuff that you could do that I think would work really well with making a journal out of this. So, and then you can, you know, these sets often come with something like this, which is like a journal card page where you can cut it apart and use them as maybe the focal points. And then you could have blank places to write about your trip or add photographs. So I might use the rest of this to create something like that. And then, you know, pieces like this, you can use the page die, which would be, so it comes with this one, which is the main cover die, and then this one is just the page die. So you might use this to frame some of these elements in a way that is cute. Anyway, I hope that gives you some ideas of what to do with those paper packs. It's fun. And if you have a mixed media, more of a mixed media vibe, hopefully you got a little inspired as to how you can bring that to this sort of thing. And that way you don't have to deny yourself a scrapbook paper just because you're not sure what to do with it. And, you know, I have 1,000,001 of these sets in the store if you're interested. They're in the scrapbook corner. I love the Echo Park Carta Bella packs. They're really thoughtful and beautifully designed. So I hope you come in and check them out. I'm open for the rest of the week until Friday, 5 12 to 5, and then again, we'll have a week off. But if you really are desperate for something, you can always shop online, and that'll get sent out starting the 14th. So, all right, everybody, stay safe, and hope to see you soon. Bye.